Okay, this is how I would focus stack in Photoshop, just for those who might be interested. So here I have a photo here. You can see on the screen this part here is in focus, but this plant, bush, whatever it is at the front is not in focus. So I focused here. This was a wee bit closer. So over here I have, where is it? Come on. There's the shot with that part in focus. So here's how I focus stack. In this case, there only are two photos to stack. Sometimes I would maybe take 3 or 4, but in this case, this bush here was separated by quite a distance actually between the rocks. There's actually quite a part of the sea comes in through there. So this back bit was in focus at f11. I captured everything from here onwards except for this. So let's bring both of these into Photoshop. So what you do is you would select one, hold down the Control or the Command button. If you're on a Mac, select the other one, right click, edit in, and then edit, open as layers in Photoshop. So when that opens it in Photoshop, what you will have is, rather than having two separate images or two separate files opened, it opens it up as one file with both images as layers. Let's go into Photoshop. Okay, so here we're now in Photoshop, and what I want to do is, first of all, I need to align the images. So I would go down here to the layers section, click on the first one, hold down Shift, click on the last one. In this case there only are 2, so you could use Control or Command. Go up to Edit and then Auto Align Layers. Keep it at Auto and click OK. And what I do just to check that out is, for example, I would zoom in a bit and take one of them away, except the focus is so different. It's very hard to know if they're aligned or not, but it doesn't really matter. Photoshop does a good job of auto aligning. So what I want to do next is make sure that the focus goes from bottom to top with respect to the photos or the images in the layers section. So I want the foreground focus to be at the bottom and the background focus to be at the top of this section here. So what I would do is I would take each one in turn and I would click the wee eye to get rid of it and see where we are at the minute. When I deselect the top layer, I can see that the bottom of the screen is in focus. So that's what I want. So the next thing to do is just add a mask. So down here I click on the top layer and add a mask. If I had another layer, I would also then click on it and then add a mask. You don't have to add a mask to the bottom one because there's nothing below it to mask. So next thing I want to do is to then mask out the out of focus part here on the bottom of the image. So I want to click on the mask and you'll see there the box is around it. And over here you want to paint black on the bit that you want to remove. Now here I have grey and black, so if you press D it will change it to white and black, and if you press X it'll toggle between whether black is the foreground or white is the foreground. I want black here, so I'm going to make my brush a wee bit bigger. Let's say about there. And all I need to do is paint the black onto the image. Now actually what I need to have, make sure up here your opacity or opacity, depending on how you pronounce it, is up at 100%, and just paint it in. So there we go. Now you may want to zoom into other bits to make sure, because as soon as I hit this, you see it's gone blurred. So press X to change it to white, and you can toggle that. So there will be a wee bit of overlap here. You see these fine grassy bits there. they're going to be cloned out because it's just very hard to get something like that in focus. Go back to black and paint this in a bit more carefully. When you have something that isn't as dramatically out of focus, you'll get to parts of the image where the overlap is such that you don't really see much difference between one and the other. That's where you know where your break is and you can go on to the next layer. So there we go. If you look over here, you can see everything is black there. If you've missed a bit out, you would notice it. There's the white spot there. So you can go and fix that. So there we go, that's that done. And all that's left for me to do, let me just check, it's a wee bit blurry there. It helps that this rock is dark so you can't see if you've maybe gone a wee bit over the line. There we go, happy enough with that. And now I just need to crop it and get rid of this extra bit where the alignment happens. So bring the crop in, let's say bring it up down there and up there. Maybe in a wee bit from the corner. That'll do. There, it's cropped. And the last thing I need to do then is just using the healing brush. I will go in and just get rid of those things there now. Best thing to do is Command Option Shift E or Control Alt Shift E, I think, in the PC. It will give you a new layer based on what's underneath it, and then I can go with the healing brush and just take these wee out of focus bits out. And yeah, that'll do. And that's a very simple way to focus stack. Hope that helps.